How's everybody doing? Lenny Besterman's Sarasota experience down here walking onto Lido Beach. I wanted to show you what's going on with the beach. It's a beautiful day, extremely hot. I want to be very clear about this. First of all, if this is the first time you're seeing one of my videos, I cover Sarasota, Bradenton, and surrounding areas. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. I try to keep you updated with Sarasota, show you the beaches. We have a new campaign coming up with some local businesses and restaurants. So if you're interested in this area at all, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell. I want to be very clear as we get into this live. I am not a red tide professional by any means. I'm trying to flip this around here. Not a red tide professional. This is nothing more than, I know you're sitting at home or you live here and you're wondering what's going on in Sarasota. You could be sitting at home knowing you're coming on vacation in the next week or two. I just met a gentleman who watched my Siesta Key red tide update from Roanoke, Virginia. I forget what his name was, but I just finished my Facebook Live from the drone. And when I landed the drone, he came up, he said, "I recognize your voice, I watched your video." So if you're out there, sir, nice to see you. But this kind of video is just for people like that's coming. You can see one thing that you want to pay attention to is there's a lot of people still on the beach. Now, I've seen a lot of red tides. I might mimic myself what I said in the last video. There will be a card if you want to see the Siesta Key video I recorded last week. The card will be up on the top left, I believe, or right. Either way, just look for that card, hit the link if you want to check it out. But anyway, this has been a really weird red tide season. Every once in a while, you'll get this blast where you want to cough or clear your throat. I was in St. Pete this week. St. Pete Clearwater, I heard, got crushed. I was just north of the pier, and I was very encouraged because there was not any dead fish floating around. It smelled fine. I walked a good 150 yards, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I got blasted with a smell that you could tell was red tide. So it's a real spotty thing. I also was driving down here today, and I stopped at the 10th Street bypass where the Van Wezel is. If you want to know where that is, just Google the Van Wezel. It's city-owned, and they have it's a theater. There's a huge parking lot that the city owns. I parked there. That whole area was really, really stinky and smelled. So it's real spotty. If you happen, definitely at this point, my observation, not professional opinion, I would definitely not cancel my trip. Watch the FWC website. That's the official site. Keep your eye on this. The good news is I think it's going to, it could come and go. It does not seem to be real bad. If you are very sensitive to smells and allergies, you might want to second guess yourself. Here's a dead fish. That kind of stuff is out there, and it seems to be one or two dead fish every 20 to 30 feet. What you have to understand is this is stuff that probably died in the Gulf a week or two ago that just gets washed up on shore. If you're staying in a house on a canal or a bay or someplace where this stuff can get trapped and they cannot get a way to get it out, or there's not funding or whatever, that's another red flag that you might want to pay attention to. Your backyard might stink, but there still is a lot of stuff that you can do comfortably down here, and this should not really affect your trip. Be very careful if you're watching the replay. What I'm saying today is Saturday. Wednesday could be a different ball game. Continue to watch it. Understand this. All social media and video always looks for the worst case scenario and best case scenario. There's probably something in between is what realistically is going on. But look at that FWC website. I believe it's the FWC. If I'm saying it wrong and it does not come up, just Google official red tide website and that'll pop up. I'm pretty sure it's the Fish and Wildlife Commission's website. Also, Moat Marine is another one. A good friend of mine, Dylan John Wade Cox, he does social media. He's a professional photographer down here. I had a nice half-an-hour conversation with him. He brought up a good point. If you're coming to the beach and you're walking around, this is a very normal day. A lot of people out here enjoying. You have a couple situations where you got a fish like that. that's unfortunately dead. But a lot of times, especially catfish, you don't want to walk on those things with bare feet. So wear your flip-flops or shower shoes when we go through an event like this. It's also very similar. Not a lot of people know what the Stingray Shuffle is. Under normal circumstances, you want to drag your feet in the sand so you don't get stung by a stingray on some of these beaches. So that's a little bonus nugget we're not talking about. So I was fine the whole way, and as I just said the word bonus nugget, I had a quick breath of that feeling that makes you cough from red tide. So the good news is it's been around for 2 or 3 weeks. It's been like a 2 out of 10 in my opinion. Extremely spotty. If you happen to get to a beach and it smells real bad, it's so spotty that realistically I think you can walk down 50 yards and get out of it and it'll be fine. That's what the report is right now. That could change. Again, if you're just joining me, I am not a professional. I just have the ability with an audience to show what's going on in real time. That's my idea. There are a lot of people fighting for cleaner waters, and that's another subject for a different video. There's a bunch of things. Red tide is natural, and there is a steroid, I like to call it, that can be dumped into the water because of humans in the way that the state allowed some things to happen about 100 years ago, plus a major spill called Penny Point up in the Tampa Bay area. The red tide that established have really been jolted by that phosphate water that was dumped into Tampa Bay from an old company that went out of business, and a lot of people wanted that water cleaned up. That kind of stuff mixed with your natural red tide can be a disaster. So far, end of July, we're very fortunate that it's not as bad. It does exist. I've seen it happen probably 10 times over the last 16 years. The only time it was major that I can remember, and I could be wrong, there was a time that I wasn't going to the beach a lot, but it was 2018. So, but when it does happen, the wildlife is absolutely affected, and it just stinks for everybody. So my job is to get you the view of the beach live, where I can't alter it, I can't edit it, it is what it is. The only thing I can do is misspeak, and that could happen, and I would invite your comments to correct me in a respectful way. Please understand, I am just trying to show what's going on in the Sarasota, Bradenton, and surrounding areas. We're at the main beach on Lido Key. It's a nice day. Heat index is about 107. Your regular temperature is closer to 92, I think it is. The beach is much wider. It's a nice day. So hopefully you make it out here. I would love to hear where you're watching from. And if there's any way I could get you to like and subscribe, hit the like button. That'll help and show YouTube that you're interested in this content. Hit the subscribe button for me. And I'm trying to get you at least a video a week, even after red tide is over. We're going to be doing a bunch of different stuff. So, Lenny Besterman, Sarasota Experience. Enjoy the beach, enjoy where you're at, and if you come out this way and you see me, make sure you say hello. We'll talk to you soon, everybody.